it's me again, boys and girls. I know you're so excited to see me again. I know you just could not live without me. And so I wish I could see your faces, but anyways, you'll just have to see my beautiful face. So today we're going to learn some more music symbols that we've been reviewing in class. Today I want to talk about dynamics. Dynamics are how loud and how soft the music is. This particular dynamic is F, or forte, which means loud. The next one below forte, well, there's actually another one that would be two F's. That would be fortissimo. That would be super loud. So this is loud, but two F's would be super loud. And this one here, this one is MF. This means mezzo forte. This is medium loud. So we're not going to be quite as loud. So we're just going to tone it down just a little bit. Let's make it medium loud. Then we have medium soft, or mezzo piano. Piano means soft. So this would be medium soft. So we don't want to be really soft, but we want to be just a little bit louder than soft, but not as loud as mezzo forte. And this is piano. This is soft. So every time you see a P, that is soft. Piano. And it's not piano the instrument. Now these things here are called crescendos and decrescendos. If the mouth starts off small like this and gradually gets bigger, then we are making a crescendo. So we're starting soft and we're gradually louder and getting louder. And then if you see the mouth is big like this, loud, and you'll go da 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 da. You're going to gradually get softer. So that's crescendo and decrescendo. All right, so now let's take some time to talk about some music notes. Okay, we've talked about that this is a whole note. A whole note gets how many beats? I hope you said 4. If you said 4, good job. This is the whole note's buddy, the whole rest. Now what I like about this one is it looks like an upside down hat. And so when you look at an upside down hat, when you look in there, all you see is a hole. And so this is a whole rest. It also gets 4 beats, but it gets 4 beats of silence. Our next note is a dotted half note. Woo, a dot. Man, we got to explain that dot. That dot says, you know what? He's gonna be a little greedy. He says, I want to take half of what you're worth. So this is a half note, and a half note gets how many beats, boys and girls? I hope you said 2. So this dot says, I'm going to take half of 2. So what would be half of 2? 1. So that dot says, ooh, I'm going to take 1 of those beats. Now I'm going to add it to the 2 beats of the half note. So this now becomes 3 beats. So a dotted half note gets 3 beats of sound. And then here is our half note, which we just talked about. And remember, our half note gets how many beats? 2. And here is the half note's buddy, the half rest. It looks like a hat. And this also gets 2 beats of music, but it's 2 beats of silence, not 2 beats of sound. So make sure when you see one of these that you don't play. Our next note, as we go down the list, is the quarter note. This is the taw. A lot of times we use taw when we say this. A quarter note gets 1 beat. Okay? So every time you see that, that's 1 beat. When we were talking about time signature and we said that the bottom note was the 4 and that it represented the quarter note, that's this note right here. This is the note that gets 1 beat. And here is its buddy, the quarter rest. It too gets 1 beat, but it's 1 beat of silence. So when you're practicing rhythm flashcards and rhythm activities that I have put on our website, make sure you don't clap or make sounds on a rest. This is a dotted quarter note. Remember, this is that dot that says I get half of whatever you're worth. So here's a quarter note, and quarter note says it gets one beat. So what would be half of one? So let's think of a pizza. We got a whole pizza, and I'm going to cut it right down the middle. And I was to give you a slice. How much a slice would I have given you? I hope you said half. So this dot gets half of whatever this note is worth. And since this note is worth 1 plus a half, that means this note gets 1.5 beats. Now here's the eighth note. We usually don't see our eighth notes by themselves. We usually see them as a pair, and I'll show you that in just a second. But this is a single eighth note. Now an eighth note is not one beat. A lot of times people will try and tell me that it's one beat, but it is not. It is half of one. This is half of beat. 1/2. So I cannot have this as a whole beat. So if I need one beat, I cannot use just one of these. I have to have something else with this, or I don't have a whole beat. That's where we can come in with the eighth rest buddy. We could have an eighth note and then have an eighth rest right next to it. Then this would be one beat. Or we could take off the eighth rest and we can turn it into 2 eighth notes put together. And we call this TT, is how we say it when we count it in music. If you were an older kid and we were counting it, we would say 1 and or 2 and, depending on where we were in the measure. So these are 2 eighth notes. There's 2 sounds, but it's 1 beat. A lot of times I ask people, how many beats is this? And everybody says 2. It is not 2 beats. It is 1 beat, but it has 2 short sounds. So be very careful. And this one, here's my very favorite music notes. These are 16th notes. It takes 4 of these to make 1 beat. That means each one of these is 1/4 of a beat. It's like thinking about 4 quarters makes $1. So each one of these would be like 1/4. And so it take all of these to make 1 beat. So you know now, if I have to get these 4 sounds into 1 beat, these are going to be very fast sounds. So this will be ticka ticka, ticka ticka, or 1 E and a, 2 E and a. So it's going to be very short. And then this is a 16th notes rest. So a 16th note would be a dot with the 2 flags out to the side. This one has a line with the 2 flags coming out this way. So this is a 16th rest, and it also gets 1/4 of a beat of silence. So that's my review of our lines and our dynamics and our note values. And I hope you will keep reviewing those and keep looking over them and learning them, and so that we can have a good time playing with them next year. And of course, we will always remember them again next year when I see you, because you might forget. But I hope that you keep practicing so much that I don't hardly have to teach much next year. We can just go right into it, and you say, "Oh, I know. Oh, that's a whole note section. That gets 4. That gets 4 beats. Oh, this section, that's a half note. That gets 2 beats." And I'll be like, "Oh, you are so smart." So let's give you another high five. All right, way to go, boys and girls. We'll talk to you later.